Hello, welcome again to the Customer Gig SaaS Scale Up Growth YouTube channel. Nice to have you with me again. I'm glad it's a bit calmer now. This is Monday the 27th of January. We had a terrible storm earlier on with hail and the wind, some lightning and thunder as well. So I'm glad it's a bit quieter now. You can probably hear me, which will be a good thing. So what I'd like to talk about, we've talked about a number of subject matter as part of this YouTube channel. Now I want to talk further about integrated campaigns. We've talked about the broad structure in video 7A. 7B, we started to talk about how those campaigns need to be constructed and brought together. And now I'd like to talk about some of the practicalities, what's required, and the coordination as well. I want to talk about the combination of outbound, but also inbound, and how that needs to be set up and put in place over a period of time. Outbound is crucial, and it's vital that as a marketing leader, there's huge collaboration with business development, which should come under the marketing umbrella, because they are a crucial asset. And I've mentioned some of the very adept business development people I've worked with whom I've worked over the past years. And it's a very, very important profession to get that connection with the customer and really qualify the opportunity down to a T. The other thing is to work with the sales team. And certainly with the advent of Chief Revenue Officer, Chief Customer Officer, clearly, Chief Sales Officer, however it's defined and structured in the organization, it has to be a collaborative exercise between the CMO and the marketing leadership, biz dev, and sales. We'll talk about customer success at a later stage, because we're now in the realms of trying to find new acquisition, and that's really a big focus for any organization, to make sure that pipeline quality is qualified and of a very high level of quality all the time. So outbound is a great place to start, because there's more ability to get going rapidly. There still needs to be a lot of investment in the planning to make sure that the proposition, the target audience, the buying teams within those target accounts, particularly on a B2B basis, are identified and clarified. Full alignment with the sales team as well. Outbound can be started more quickly, and I'll talk about inbound as well. Inbound, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, will often result in a correlated higher level of conversion to revenue, because the customer is already looking for your proposition. They've received your content and other experiences, whatever that might be, as part of the inbound engagement with that customer. But they sometimes take some time to get inbound set up very well. I've seen organizations focus wholeheartedly on inbound, and it's taken too long for that content and experience to engage the customer. Now, over time, outbound and inbound, as I've already said, needs to be used in combination. But certainly in those initial setup phases, outbound is going to be really, really key in working hand in hand with the sales team. So I think things like email marketing, we talk about cold email, but that can be used in conjunction with some behavior intent data and other knowledge about whether or not a client or a prospective target sector and market client is in the market for your particular proposition. So those marketing sequences which can be set up, they can be automated in marketing automation platforms like HubSpot, and I've mentioned that in the past. Also, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is another good outbound tool for sales teams, biz dev, to reach out to customers with the right level of sales enablement from marketing. So the right kind of materials, and I've mentioned some of these before, blog pieces, white papers, these these shorter pieces which can be used as a summary guide to the proposition. Those need to be used as ways to open the door in those conversations, but also as leave behinds as well. Very, very, very powerful for biz dev and sales to be able to use those, and marketing needs to set those up, create those, and train and work closely with biz dev and sales in order to ensure that they are set up for success with those kinds of outreach and conversations. Also, product marketing needs to be involved in that training, because they will have done a lot of outreach research regarding the sector and the market. So that's really the huge value add that product marketing bring in terms of setting up that campaign. Clearly product marketing also had a lot of value around the product roadmap, and it's that with that cyclical relationship, looking outside in to get that knowledge, but that can also help the sales and biz dev teams really hone in on where the opportunity exists, but also how the proposition can be shaped with a certain level of uniqueness as well. And ultimately what we want are these BANT qualified leads, the budget, authority, need and timing. And I've mentioned in previous notes that can be done loosely and then it can lead to failure. But if it's done robustly, then the likelihood of ongoing qualified pipeline is more inherent in that kind of campaign and marketing, biz dev, sales collaborative exercise. Alongside this, and I will talk about this much more, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this too, is the advent of AI agents and the outreach and automation of those, because this will be a crucial enabler as part of that outbound outreach to prospective customers. Now, we're in the midst of a lot of agent technologies coming to market, and again, I'll be talking about those in the future. But things to bear in mind are targeting accuracy and the data that's used for those AI agents to connect with prospective customers. The instructions in terms of how the agent is instructed to outreach. Are they authentic and real? And is there a suitable level of humanization of those agents? What we don't want are more spamming exercises going forth with those kinds of agent engagement with prospective customers. What about the measurement and improvement over time? Now, marketing operations is a crucial part of putting the processes in place. Clearly sales operations as well. I've seen that work very well in tandem to get the right kind of marketing automation and CRM platforms. So if we move from, say, a platform like HubSpot into Salesforce, I've seen those two used together with the right level of handoff and operational process. That's also very, very crucial to focus in on. The other thing that also needs to be borne in mind with all of the outreach, but certainly when you start to look at AI agents to automate some of that, are the privacy of the customer, prospective customer, and also the regulations for a particular sector. There will be very specific regulations for a sector and a market as well, and how that's interpreted. So that's also a really, really big consideration. And with all of this, and without going into more detail about inbound, which we'll talk about in a future video, are how the constant testing and measuring and improvement, I've just mentioned it around AI agents, but it's really around the overall campaign and how that fits together. So it's already 9 minutes as a video, and it's a big subject matter. So let's talk again in another video. I'll start to talk about and hone in on inbound and that combined set of efforts. But again, as always, please let me know your thoughts around These elements that I've talked about today, other videos I'm talking about in terms of SaaS campaigns, integrated campaigns to drive scale-up growth. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of coordination across the team, the commercial team in particular, and your feedback is massive. So please let me know, and if you have any questions or other observations, I'm open to hear anything. Please let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.